Also, another thing that I've really become careful about now is just more of involving myself in parts of the business that I suck at.
Involving yourself or removing yourself?
Well, careful about involving myself.
Careful about, got it. Okay.
Yeah, in areas that I suck at.
Yeah.
Okay, which is a lot.
Yeah. So this is a fun exercise for some people. How do you figure out what things you suck at?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
So I learned through over time on things was I think a big thing for me, Steve, was understanding how my mind worked. Okay. And that's something I think a lot of people never take the time to do.
Right.
Okay. And really how the mind works. And I had to realize that I was never the person that was going to, I looked at something and I saw starting point and I saw the end. And I'm like, how come we don't already have it done? Okay. And so now the thing is, I'm very good about understanding that and sharing that with others, but doing it is a whole different ballgame.
Right. Execution is different than just knowing.
Yeah. And that was my big thing. And I come to a realization that was one of my big problems. Mm-hmm. So that was a big component for me. And something else that I recommend, and is this something maybe we could share to all your listeners and stuff too, is something called drivers and drainers. Mm-hmm. And are you familiar with that, are you?
Not in that term, so you want to elaborate on it?
Yeah, so it's basically, and this is something I recommend, and I'll share this with you and you can share it, but it's just real simple for people to basically take a 5-day period of time, especially if, like work days, and then document all the things that drive them and all the things that drain them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I have some things I can share with you that you're more welcome to share with people, but doing that really helps start getting some clarity on where they need to be focusing their time and their energy. Because obviously I was in a position where I think back about, dealing with contractors. That's an area I hated. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, literally, Steve, I could go from being calm to being extremely pissed off in a matter of about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. Just with dealing with that. So I learned that, I need to start removing myself for that. That's one of the things reason I brought project managers in. But then I realized that I was not good at managing a whole team, because my mind worked so different. And I talk about that. I think another perfect example, and this is something we see all the time. So, we look at myself or your listeners here, or even you, and we go to an event somewhere, and we learn some new ideas. And then what I used to do is come back and bring it to the team. So I come back to the team, I say, hey guys, we're going to do all this and this and this. So here's something I learned for the last 2-3 days. Then I bring it back and dump it on them in a matter of 30 minutes and say, here you guys go. And I expect them to get it. And then they walk away saying, well, Jerry, we're still trying to figure out what you gave us last time. Mm-hmm. And it was constant like that. Yeah. So that was something big for me that I think I realized that when it comes to the mind side of things, you really have to understand how your brain works, because just because your mind works that way doesn't mean everybody else's mind works that way.
Well, for sure. And there's one way to really frustrate your team is to go to a seminar, come back with a bunch of ideas and dump it on your team. So when people come to our workshops, we just tell them, take all the ideas, pick 3 and throw the rest away.
100%.
And just of the 3, pick the one that's either going to be the easiest or most impactful, and you can't even start the other 2. Yeah, the first one's done.
Steve, my COO Ashley and I work together, and our standing rule is this: everything. Now I'm not allowed to talk to the team on those things. So I take them to her, and she runs basically. And this is a great suggestion. Just basically, we have like a what we call our green book. And in that green book, she puts down all my ideas, but there's only 2 allowed to be implemented at one time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to be singularly focused